So let's move really seamlessly then into the concept of knowing what's coming.
Right.
And being, I know, there's a point we need to move into after that, but
Yeah.
but knowing what's coming and looking at golf from the point of view of aiming and action,
Yeah.
as opposed to aiming and then swinging.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the predominant way that I see it taught, and the way that I used to go about it was I would try to aim at my target, and then I would try to make the best swing I could to hit the ball straight, let's say. But there's another way you can play, and that is to say, well, I know I've got a specific action coming. This is how I think Bubba Watson plays. Just to use another example we've already used, and he might see a shot that he sees it curving 30 yards in the air, so he knows what's coming. He's going to pound that ball. That's all he needs to know. I'm going to hit that ball really hard. And he'll hit a 60-yard wedge. He still smashes it. There's not a great deal of finesse, but he'll set angles where he can smash it, and it's only going to go 60 yards. So if I walk in and I say, okay, I'm going to curve this ball from 30 yards to the left, all I need to know is what's coming is an action in one place that's going to wallop the ball. So how would I stand? How would I hold the club? Something like that.
That was loud.
Yeah. Now it didn't curve back all the way to the target like I was thinking. It curved back halfway there. So I curved it 15 yards off the 30.
There's a reaction to that, which is, it's not necessarily that you consciously judge it. It's just that you see that goes into the bank of experience and enables you to be. Yeah, you need a bigger angle, exactly.
Bigger angles.
And that's that would be a great way to practice, rather than trying to create repetition.
Well, I think it's a way to get better.
Yeah.
Because then my action that I know is coming is one thing. So if I've got one motion in one spot, and it's always seen by me as that, it's one motion in one spot, I can get better at that one thing, and I can get better at aiming that one thing. So this is the point where I like to liken it to a pool shot, a snooker shot, or darts, where Phil the Power Taylor, he knows what's coming. He knows his shot. Now you don't even have to know it as well as he knows his shot to be able to play. So he gets up on the oche and he aims the trajectory of the dart and he positions himself for his shot to go into that triple 20. Now he does that on a repetitive daily basis, but even if he took a week off, he wouldn't go in there. He'd know what was coming.
Yeah.
Right. So he can aim that because he knows what's coming. If we have a weapon, if we have a gun, or if we're going to shoot an arrow, we kind of know what's coming if we've shot before. If I point it straight and I pull the trigger and it's still pointed straight when I pull the trigger, it'll probably hit the target.
Yeah, so see, for the guy that's firing the gun, he knows exactly what the gun's going to do because it's a mechanical object.
Yeah.
In golf, we've got the variable of us, but the way to have the purity of knowing what's coming is to have that uninterrupted freedom.
Right.
It's not to have that conscious control.
Right.
That'd be right?
Yes, and then to remember again that it's only the moment you hit it. So it's pointed somewhere when you hit it. And I know it goes where it's pointed because it doesn't go where it's not pointed. And that's why I like to use the gun doesn't fire the bullet where it's not pointed. So it only fires it in one place. So if we think of it as the only thing I've got to do is energize that ball and it's going to go where it's pointed, we could separate that and say, okay, well, let me work on, and this is how I start the clinics. So get people in where they can really energize the ball. May not yet fly exactly the way they expect it to, but at least they're energizing the ball and hitting it harder and hitting it more with more integrity. Once you've got that, you know where you need to be approximately to hit it with integrity. Then you can begin to learn how to aim it for specific shots.
And I've definitely seen that amongst the people that have come to the clinics, is that their big thing that they have to kind of detach themselves from is the temptation to try and manipulate where the ball goes using their swing.
That's right.
And when they let go of it, it's just a great moment, because all of a sudden they feel that the game's a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's a real turning point.
It is a turning point. And like I said, it comes down to whether you feel you've got to move the ball, right? And the moment you think that something you did here is the reason why it did exactly that, then you're trying to connect something that has no real basis in fact, because it's only affected once, that moment when you hit it. So I'm not saying that there is no importance at all in any action of the swing. I see it as if it has those three principles there. In other words, if it has free momentum and it's balanced through counterbalance, and you have it in your hands the same way all the way, then you've got the makings of a very good golf swing.